So, Britt, how we doing this? You gonna intro us in or should
Sure.
I? Okay, yes. Come on, Britt.
It does not matter. I'm all off because my stuff was on my phone, so I got to get my stuff back in order. Um,
Oh, there's your BJ. Hey, BJ.
hey, Brandon. So, dang, I can't find the tweet either.
Hold on. I think I have the. I might get to the tweet fast. Wrong tweet.
We
Here it is. Okay.
I got it. You got it?
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. So we called it redirecting pain, not channeling, right? Because I don't remember what the flyer said.
Yeah. Redirecting.
So I'm gonna read y'all the tweet that we were inspired by. So basically it says, you gotta resurrect the deep pain within you and give it a place to live that's not within your body. Let it live in art, let it live in writing, let it live in music, let it be devoured by building brighter connections. Your body is not a coffin for pain to be buried in. Put it somewhere else.
Ooh.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna let you take it over because
Okay. So I feel like, coming across that tea, I feel like we both very much so kind of resonated because I feel like we're both actively in our own ways trying to figure out how to rechannel old energy, old pain, releasing it in a way where it's not coming back for reasons, like really like letting that thing out the body. And so I loved, my favorite thing about the tweet was it's like let it live in art, let it live in writing and music. There's not a conventional way. It's like whatever basically like kind of brings you joy while releasing.
yeah.
I love that that's what they focused on, but still shedding light on the fact that, I mean, it is, that stuff needs to be put somewhere, but it can't be buried in you because, it's just not serving. So with that being said, we are going to talk today about redirecting pain, reasons why maybe we hold on to experiences that aren't so good because we do we kind of like fixate on stuff sometimes, especially when we don't understand, like when we don't get why.
Them. We don't like people to bring up the fact that we have not let stuff go. Like
Yes.
I'm gonna hold on to it and don't you say anything about it. So like literally hold captive of old stuff.
Yeah, I agree. So you want to start off with reasons, Britt? Like
of why we hold on to things?
Yeah.
Well, one thing I was thinking about is sometimes it's not always that way for me, but I feel like one thing that happens is we feel like if we don't let stuff go, we're giving like people a pass or something. It's almost like, because if you silently or privately forgive someone, like, that's just your own process. But sometimes I think we get it in our head that if we let it go, we're like okaying what they did, or we're like, saying, oh, like, they can move on and I'm over here in pain. And that's like, it's actually the opposite. So I feel like sometimes it's a control thing. Like we feel like because we want to maintain control of our pain and what happened to us, it's like we take hold of it and we never let go of it. And then sometimes that becomes a part of us and we become comfortable with it. It's almost like, who are we without this pain and this stuff that we're carrying? It's almost like, no, really, who are you without that stuff that you haven't been talking about for like 20 years? So that was one of the things that I thought about. What about you?
I think before I get into mine, I think people get scared because once they realize, once they call, because everybody, I'm letting go, I'm whatever. Once they do that and they're literally just with themselves, I think it's just scary because a lot of people don't know who they are. So what's coming up for them be like, wow, crazy. So yeah, I didn't think of it from that standpoint, but that's like so true. I know, just talking from a personal standpoint, when I don't understand pain, it's hard for me to let it go. I feel like I have to conceptualize it. I have to figure out exactly where it came from. I need to like there's this whole process that I feel like I go through when it comes to letting anything go, whether it's like pain, people, whatever. So I feel like sometimes when we don't understand an experience, we kind of just stay there, and if it's painful, like that just sucks because who wants to feel that way? But it's like we're willingly holding on to it.
So crazy, because I was just thinking about this literally last night. Because I'm so hard on myself, it's almost like I'm disappointed that I was even in a situation or
Yes.
so I do that whole like, how did I get here? Could this have been prevented? Like, what didn't I do so that I wouldn't be here? So it's just, I do the exact same thing you said. Like, I have to have rationale behind why something happened and how we got here, which sucks because you and I both know you cannot control other people. We are out of control of a lot of stuff, but yeah, I don't know what it is about hurt and pain. We just feel like we need to be in control of it in some kind of way.
Yeah. You said something. You said something along the lines of it left me, but it was something about what you said about like if you have to like if you don't understand like, oh, how did I get here, like
Yeah.
basically like how did I let this happen, could it have been preventative. I feel like there's a tweet that somebody had tweeted about like not having attachment to the outcome, like the outcome doesn't reflect like decision making all the time, like sometimes stuff just ends because it's like
The podcast I was telling you about.
yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. I'm about to say. So that's like reassurance, I guess, for anybody that like actively struggles with that, like just being hard on yourself because like stuff didn't pan out a certain way. Because if you anything like me and Brittany, we try to like take measures beforehand to make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen.
And
So
stuff worse.
right, and we just so when it happened, it's like, dang, where was the wrong turn? Like,
Yeah.
oh God, nerve wracking for no reason. It's like shit just be happening. It is what it is.
So freaking annoying. So obviously there are obvious reasons, but why should we let go of the negative and unpleasant things that we hold on to?
My number one reason right now, because there are so many,
There's
but
so many.
my number one reason right now is because that energy that you put into like focusing on that, once you come out of it and you realize like how long you was in it and you could have been using that to put towards something like you actually enjoy doing, or putting it, or like using that time spending it with people who actually fuck with you, or like it's just so much more you could have did with time. I feel like that keeps me, that is my reason. I feel like it's important for releasing it. It's like, one, time is so precious right now. Like we be talking all the time about how people are passing,
Yeah.
opportunity, like if not now, when. So I just feel like it's important because you're like losing ample time to like really like enjoy the life that you have, because we only here for a limited amount of time. And it's like, while I'm here, am I really gonna just, not saying that we're not supposed to have feelings or we're not
Right.
supposed to express emotions or feel pain, but I dictate how long I want to stay in that. So
I would say on the opposite side of what you said about time, I don't think people understand how stagnant they become when they hold on to stuff. Um, and I feel like people think because time has went on, like they have moved, but it's like emotionally, if you bring up, X thing that happened, they are still just as upset as if it was yesterday. So I feel like people have the misconception that because time has moved on, they have moved on. But it's like in reality, you are still stuck where you were on X date when whatever happened to you. And I think because you aren't present, because you are somewhere hidden and stifled, you miss out on a lot of things. And whether that be because you don't want to trust somebody again, or you don't want to build new connections, or you don't want to take a leap of faith for whatever reason, it's like it's still holding you back. You're just not conscious of it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of similar to what you said. It's like you're losing out on so many things because you just have missed the concept that you are still very much so stuck in the past. You just think that because it's a new date, we've all moved on, but that is definitely not the case, because there have been plenty of times that I have been triggered and I've been like, oh my God, like I didn't even know I was still that upset about that. So yeah, I think we just don't get the importance and concept of time sometimes in relation to our pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I got a question for you.
go ahead.
Do you feel like there's ever a good reason to hold on to pain?
No. So I know pain for me when I'm in like a pain that I just can't, ain't no control. I can't like push it nowhere. It's just there. I know for me, it is really showing me my fears a lot of the times when I'm in those places like extreme pain. It's connected to fear somehow.
Gotcha.
So I do think it's important to have to experience it, because I feel like it's a teacher. Like pain literally teaches you things. Like one is appreciation of life. I know that, how to be grateful. Like
very true.
Pain. I feel like pain teaches you that stuff that people can't just tell you. You got to like go through. So I do feel like it's necessary. I have a hard time. And I feel like it's just the nature of me anyway, because we consider pain to be negative, even though it's not. It's not really a negative or a positive thing. It just is.
Yeah.
So I don't like holding on to stuff that don't feel so good to me. So I'm gonna say no for that reason, but it's necessary. Like it's so necessary, and pain should be normalized, but so should redirecting pain. Because I feel like we get into this whole normalize bag, normalize this, normalize that. Okay, yeah, y'all normalize it, but we not staying here. Like
literally
normalize it. It happens. It's normal. Now, how do we get rid of it so we can thrive? So yeah.
Right. Agreed.
What about you? Do you feel like there's a reason?
The only reason I can think of is this is personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
I am a very forgiving person.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like there have been situations, had I would have held on to the pain a little bit more.
Oh my God.
I just wouldn't have forgave. So I just feel like sometimes we just need a reminder, like,
ooh,
the tiger that showed you the stripes now. Don't erase this down to no blank canvas, because them stripes, they're going to start bleeding back through. That is the only thing I would say. I would say I definitely, there have just been times where, because if I say, okay, we talked, we hashed it out, we done. Like,
right.
I apologize. Like, oh well.
And people still play in your face afterwards.
No.
Cuzzo said, me too, need to hold on a little reminder not to F with that person. Exactly. I agree with that. I agree with that.
That is,
and there's two people in my life that stands real for. So.
See what I'm saying? Mine is no longer there, but see what I'm saying? If I would have just reminded myself, Brittany, how many times we've been here, I just feel like there wouldn't have been umpteen chances given. So I feel like sometimes we have to remember, like, all right, we done been here before, or they didn't showed you who they was before. Yeah. So I feel like in those cases, and not necessarily hold on to it, to the point where you ruminating and, fixating on it, but
don't forget.
Keep in mind who you're dealing with. Just keep in mind who you're dealing with. So yeah, that's the only time I feel like, yeah, it's just some people I just wish I just been mad a little longer than what I would.
Yeah, I hate that.
I share Will's.
I hate that I feel that right here.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, how hard is it to work through the emotions for you personally? When you find yourself in them situations where the pain just don't want to be redirected, how hard is it for you to work through that? And maybe like, what's something you do to get it out?
It's very hard for me to work through stuff. Not because I don't want to, but I am just a feeler on multiple levels. My memory is excellent, so I'm probably running down however long I've known you. I'm literally probably running that down from front to back while I'm trying to figure
Mm.
out what the hell happened. Um, and I was just telling Brandon this the other night. The benefit to that though is like the more and more I do it, when I get to a place where like I'm done, like baby, you never existed. Like my memory done been wiped clean.
Leo shit.
I didn't cried and did so much, baby. You never even existed in my world.
Got you all the way out.
Yes, I have, worked to the umpteen power to get rid of this stuff. But it is really, really hard. What I've been doing recently, because I told you I'm preparing for this therapeutic funeral, and to let go of these, people. I've been doing a lot of journaling, and one of the things that has come up is like my parents' communication style and how that has triggered me as an adult, things that I was not comfortable with. And I think people don't understand, like, it is hard to work through stuff because a lot of times stuff that really hurts us and bothers us is not always surface level. It's probably like old shit or something piled on some old shit. So you're talking about going to some places you probably ain't been to in like 20 years, stuff you ain't thought about, stuff that, my little box that got fragile on it in my mind that we just don't talk about. You have to go there sometimes to work through stuff because, like I said, it's not just simple as somebody upsetting you or saying something that you don't like. They didn't hit something from when you was 5, and now we talking about a whole nother issue that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just hard because I get to the point where I want to do the work. So like I said, I can be done. You ain't got to see me. I mean, speak next time you see me. Cause I want to be done in the best way. I don't want to carry anything from you if, we have gotten to that point where, it's negative. So I try to work as much as I can, which is why I stay in therapy. So writing is usually the best thing and talking about it for me in therapy. What about you?
So I will say I'm really good at ignoring it. I'm really good at redirecting myself and I'm good at this topic, boy. I tell you, I can redirect.
Because one thing about Shawana, she gonna be busy. She gonna have 19 jobs, okay?
I'm gonna do something, okay? I'm gonna do something, but I be telling people, it's because if I don't, I'll do like stuff that's not good for me. If I don't like dive into positive things, and I like making shit anyway. I like creation, but so for me, it's not hard for me. But what I will say is because it's so easy, I do have to, like you said, sometimes that pain trying to teach your ass something, and sometimes I don't sit in it long as I should. And I'm glad you reiterated that because sometimes you really do, because like the disrespect be disrespectful, and like sometimes you just gotta let it slide you a few times, like because like you said, once we let it go, we be willing to, because our minds let that shit, it does not exist anymore. So for me, yeah, I have to really check in with myself sometimes, like, okay, did you really let that go? Like I'll, like, for instance, one of the things that I do when, especially like when I'm detaching myself from the person, I don't want to see like nothing you got going on. Like I don't want to
Same.
I don't want to trigger myself in any way. If I know I would want to be a part of something you're doing and I can't, like, I'm not going to watch, I'm not going to do that. So if I think I'm past something, one of the ways I check to see if I'm really not, I'll go and look and see how that makes me feel. And it's worked for me thus far because the few people that I have gone back and checked on, when I look, I don't get emotional no more. It doesn't trigger me to see their face or to hear their voice or to see them doing something and I'm not a part of it. So, yeah, definitely checking in if you're somebody who can distract yourself easily. If you're somebody who just knows how to know, I'm gonna refocus my brain, I'm gonna keep it moving. Sometimes you gotta stop and sit in it. So yeah.
Yeah, sitting in it is not fun.
Mm.
It's so good to do, but it's just so uncomfortable to
So
do.
random. I don't know if anybody like uses music to help them do that.
I
I
do.
hadn't done it in a while, and like, oh my gosh, I had been holding on to something subconsciously like for a minute. And it's this one artist in particular. She always has a song on her album that gets me. Whatever I'm going through during that time, it hits me in that way. I listen to music when it drops at midnight on Friday, 12 a.m. because that's just my thing. So
Literally.
I purposely waited like till like Saturday morning when I didn't have to go to work, when I didn't have to do nothing. I already knew what song it was and everything, man. When the song came on, the emotion instantly smacked me in my chest. And it was like with every bass of the song, my body was like boom,
Oh my,
boom, and it was just coming out. I was like, what is
oh my
happening?
God. Oh my God. Oh my
So
God.
like, bro, like music is, if you struggle with like sitting in emotion and getting it out, music is a wonderful way to like release that type of intense emotion.
I definitely use music. I just use real sad ass shit. That
Mm,
makes me think of things. So then I just have to sit in it. But
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I feel like anything like that, just stuff that brings the emotion out of you,
Mm-hmm.
is a good tool. I'm telling y'all, writing is really good. I have been literally it's just notes. It's like pages of just notes
Yeah.
about myself, situations, stuff that has been triggering me, why it triggered me, situations that the situations relate to.
Mm.
Yeah, I just have pages of notes of just trying to get this shit out.
So same for me, because I just realized I didn't even say ways that I release emotion. I got some intense stuff, so I have to do a lot of physical movement. So
Mm,
literally, because when we hold on to emotions, it's like it's stored in the body. So I
yeah,
do a lot of yoga, like a lot of yoga, and I meditate a lot. So like allow my breath to literally, so I can feel that stuff being pushed out of my body. So guys, you can YouTube like guided meditations, like for literally what specifically you're struggling in that can help you with that. Um, there's YouTube videos to do yoga. You don't have to do that. Exercising, like those are other like physical ways to like release emotions. Running, jogging, biking, working out, all that stuff. Some
the
other ways.
exercising is just so amazing.
Yeah.
Um, out when you said about getting the energy out, it's a part of the tweet that talks about stuff being stored in your body, and it made me think about energy transference, like
Mm-hmm.
how they be like hurt people. Like
Yeah.
I've been in situations where people have been like, "Bitch, I'm about to lay all this negative shit on you. Like, just take it. Like, here you go."
Yeah.
And you like, "Oh my God!" Like I got all. Like, what am I supposed to do with all this energy? And I think that's another reason why we gotta be conscious of that stuff, because people will put it on you and you don't even know. You finish the conversation or something and your body just feel like it has the weight of these
Traumatized.
people. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I just think you just gotta tap into yourself, because child, you be walking around with stuff and don't even know it. Stuff that's not even yours.
Yeah. So I do encourage like everybody, especially like those who just hopped on. We were talking about ways that we redirect and rechannel pain, and Brittany was just saying like journaling, writing. I was talking about physical movement, so exercising, working out, running, jogging, yoga, meditation. I do encourage like people to find something that that's a releasing practice for them, like to do like once a day, even if it's like a 30-second thing. Like I know a lot of people have like Apple Watches, that Breathe app. Just taking some time a day to do something that allows you to redirect energy, period, I feel like it's good. So that when it does come to the point when you got to redirect some pain, you already doing stuff to help you, and you don't have to sit in that pain as long as like maybe you normally do. Especially if you go in and out of like depression and stuff like that.
So obviously, you know, we have been in therapy. We done learned some coping skills along the way.
I had therapy today.
What advice do you have for people who either they're carrying something or they're like, oh my gosh, I do not know how to get rid of this? Like, I know we just gave stuff, but like, where's a good place for them to start? Maybe because I know that's probably overwhelming to hear all this stuff. Where do you feel like is a good place for people to start if they're just starting the healing process?
So definitely starting by reframing your thoughts, like change the way that you view stuff. So not looking, first of all, like if you could take the stigma of pain being bad out of your head and you allow it to be, because every emotion we experience is normal. We all experience the same emotion. So not putting the fact that you don't like the feeling to like you've done something wrong or like you're being punished or whatever. If you can change your mindset about pain, and also not looking at painful situations as losses. I feel like if you can like kind of change the way you're even viewing your experience, it allows you to just one, see it for what it is, and then two, when you are in a place where you're physically ready to let it go, it's easier for you to. I know nowadays when I go through my stuff, like I'll just hop online and Google something that can help me. Versus before, I'm like, oh well, I want to come out the feeling, but I don't know what to do. So having that mindset shift, it makes it less of a task or topic to redirect it when it's time. So I'll say that. What about you?
I like that you said the reframing, because I think especially when we start feeling like guilt and stuff, it's almost like it's just too much for us to even fathom, like, oh my God, how do I figure this out? What do I do? It's like we almost overwhelm ourselves with the fact that, you know, something has happened, and it's just kind of like, you know, it's life. Things happen to us, and we gotta normalize that. Like, stuff is gonna be painful, stuff is gonna hurt, we're gonna disappoint people. That's a hard one for me. People are gonna disappoint us. So I think once we start to just, you know, normalize that, okay, something happened, something hurt me, something made me sad, I didn't like something, I think that's a good place to start. Because like I said, I think we put ourselves and people on these pedestals, and then we just make the disappointment so big that we can't even fathom that the situation happened. So I would agree with reframing your mindset. What else can you do when you're starting? Look for stuff. Like you said, I know now it's so many podcasts out. YouTube got every freaking thing. So a lot of times if it's like situations like I'm uncomfortable with or something I don't understand, I am quick to do a YouTube search, and somebody that, you know, if they did an interview, somebody like a celebrity that I like, if it's something I know somebody has talked about, I'm going to tap into it. I'm going to listen. I'm going to see what's going on to see what I can pull from it. And just, I feel like that acceptance and feeling like somebody gets what we're going through can be helpful. Because I know it can be intimidating to try to find like a tribe on a big level, or like to put yourself out on social media. You be thinking people caring, child, just trying to be in your business, but
don't give a darn.
like, don't care at all. So I think find it like, you know, oh, they're talking about this on this podcast or whatever like that. I think normalizing your feelings and just, you know, having somebody say, I've been through that and like I made it through, can be really helpful. But it definitely starts with your mind, for sure. I think you hit the nail on the head when you say that. The way you look at the situation, that really can make or break like your process.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. So we just slid right through that one.
Absolutely did. We did.
Does anybody have like questions or input? Does anybody like have anything they want to say about maybe an experience you have had with having to redirect pain? Do you guys have advice, tips that you want to like write in the chat? You can request a join. You trying to get up here and say something?
Yeah, drop it in.
Feel free, cuzzo.
Drop it in there.
I'm sorry, Vanessa. I ain't gonna put you on the spot like that. But yeah, I mean, feel free to share. Just open space. A lot of people came in.
I know.
Okay. Well, guys, if nothing else, did we introduce ourselves? No, we didn't.
Girl.
We got up here and edit. So, I mean, I feel like all of you guys who are up here follow us, but if you don't and you're new to the Brown Skin Blueprint, I am Shawana Ward.
I am Brittany Williams.
And we want to thank you guys for kicking it with us today, for chatting and being in this intimate setting while we talk about some stuff that, you know, people don't really like to talk about, but that's what we do. We shine light on the things that don't get too much light shined on them. So, yeah, thank
Somebody
you.
gotta do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Follow us on everything, Brown Skin Blueprint.
Yes, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.